Someone.
Case number 3094, Sheindlin versus Sheindlin. All parties, please step forward.
Hunter Sheindlin is suing his mother, Vicky Sheindlin, for the value of personal items and online defamation.
Mr. Sheindlin, this is your mother.
Yes.
And while the case has a lot of nonsense in it, it boils down to the following. You and your mother, according to you, purchased a home together. The house is in both your names. You moved into the house with your mother, and you and your mother came to a period where you were on bad terms. It had to do with your girlfriend.
Correct.
And you say you were forced out of the home. And what you're really requesting is money for the items that you purchased in the house, that you left in the house after you were forced to leave.
Correct.
And Miss Sheindlin, you have a counterclaim. Counterclaim said that when he left his very large dog. And you either want him to pay for the maintenance of the dog, or you want him to turn over the dog to you.
Yes.
Okay, so let's deal with the dog issue first.
Hunter Sheindlin claims his mother, Vicky Sheindlin, owes him for personal items. Vicky is countersuing her son for property damage and a German Shepherd.
Now, dog is a German Shepherd.
Correct.
When was it purchased?
I believe about July of this last year.
And when you left the house, you left with your girlfriend.
Correct.
Where did you move to?
Right now, it's kind of still up in the air between my younger sisters and my grandpa's.
Okay, so you can't bring the dog.
Correct.
Mr. Sheindlin, you let the dog stay with your mother.
I don't have a choice in the matter. I've been
Good.
told
Well, very good. I'm taking the choice from you so you don't feel as if you're abandoning the dog. So that takes care of the dog. Now let's take care of your appliances. You moved into the house and purchased the house with your mother, month and year.
May of 2022.
And exactly what appliances do you believe that you can establish that you purchased for the house?
Oh, I've got receipts for the kitchen appliances, the washer and dryer.
Washer, dryer, and kitchen appliances. What kitchen appliances?
A refrigerator, microwave, dishwasher, and stove.
Yeah, I see the receipts.
Yes.
Mrs. Sheindlin, do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I deliver packages.
What kind of work does your son do?
He works at a warehouse forklift.
Now, who purchased those appliances?
I did.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Okay, let's see. All these things were financed.
Correct. Under my credit, under my name. Some of which is still being paid on.
Well, who's paying for them?
Me.
Show me proof that you're paying for these items now, since you left in November.
Okay. Am I able to bring my phone out?
Whatever you like. And you're making payments to whom?
To Samsung.
I'd like you to tell me when you bring it up on your phone, what's the balance owing?
Currently only about 500. I've got all my statements pulled up right now.
And you paid off the rest?
Correct.
Kevin, I'd like you to get from Mrs. Sheindlin her proof that she purchased these items. Nah, you didn't pay cash for all the new appliances, madam, of $8,029.50. I don't know what that's for.
That's the money we took out for appliances.
Took it out from where?
From my checking. We shopped around, and that's when he decided to use Samsung credit, but we still had that cash.
So what did you do with the cash?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Mr. Sheindlin that.
As far as the $8,600, that was money taken out to blow at the casino.
To blow at the casino,
to gamble.
$8,029?
Yes.
No.
The same month you bought a house?
Yes.
No,
she had gambling issues. I mean, she continues to have gambling issues. Had gone through probably about $100,000 in between then and now. So.
Well, your mother didn't accumulate that delivering packages.
No.
And you work in a warehouse. Where did you get $100,000?
That's what she won at the casino. But she also put it back where she won it at.
I want to know what the $8,029.50 was.
I'm not
I'm
understanding.
not buying this, taking out cash to buy
Ma'am,
appliances.
when I put money down on the home and I was putting money down as an investment when I did win at the casino. That was put aside, and it's an odd amount. That's because we were shopping around. We took cash directly out to shop around, but he ended up buying a bundle from the Samsung website, and he ended up applying for a Samsung credit card. So that money that was originally to go to the appliances, I don't know where it went because he had applied for credit. We were getting the appliances through delivery a little at a time.
So what you're telling me is you cashed this check and...
It's a withdrawal slip, ma'am.
No, I'm not buying any of this stuff here for cash. That's not happening. How much do you earn at your job?
About $20 an hour.
Okay. Kevin, can I see his phone, please?
It'll be under overview or statements or down that way.
So there's $500 left. And the appliances are in the home?
The refrigerator, yes. The microwave, yes. The stove, we've never had. We never hooked up the stove.
Why?
We work a lot, so I don't cook like that. We just never hooked up the stove yet. I cook on a fryer, a skillet. We have not hooked up the actual stove yet. And as far as...
Washer, dryer?
Yes, washer and dryer.
So you use those things?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your intention, Mr. Hilden? What do you think is going to happen with the joint ownership in this house?
I was hoping to put it up for a forced sale and just cut ties completely.
Well, that's far beyond my pay grade. Okay. So you have $556 left on these items, and I think that it's more than fair that your mother, if she's enjoying them and in the house, that she take care of the rest of that bill.
Ma'am, I have to show that I paid for the washer and dryer.
I see. $2,200 transfer from Vicki Hilden to Hunter. What was that for, Mr. Hilden?
It was for the washer and dryer, yes.
So what's left is, for the other items, $556 owing to Samsung. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, very easy. You're going to take care of his Samsung bill, continue to use that, and I would suggest that you hook up the stove. And on the claim, I'm awarding the plaintiff $556. On the counterclaim, you have the dog. Thank you very much. This case is over.
This court is adjourned.
Just because I've been done dirty so long, and I just thought finally something would come about of it.
I do gamble, but I don't have a problem with it.
I don't think I'll have enough time for the childhood traumas.
My door's closed.
No, he's dead to me.
What I found fascinating was that he has a job where he makes $20 an hour. His mother delivers packages.
Yep.
Can't be high-income family. And they purchased this house, and they put down a substantial down payment.
Yeah.
Where did you get the $100,000 from? She must be a terrific gambler.
Yeah, she must be.
Her bank account shows that she transferred thousands of dollars
Oh,
to
yeah.
him. It's fascinating.
Almost $10,000 transferred to him
Fascinating.
that we saw.
If I win $20 in the slot machines, I'm over the moon. $100,000, she must be pretty good.
Not half bad.
Yeah.
Case 3143, Child versus Hudson. All parties, please come forward.
Taylor Child is suing her former friend, Crystal Huddleston, for the cost of a motorcycle and riding boots.
I know very little about motorcycles. I know that the couple of times I've been on them, I didn't like it. Just seems to me that when you're surrounded with 3,000-pound cars, you want more around you than fresh air. So maybe I'll get somewhat of an education doing this case. I doubt it.
Taylor Child is accusing her former friend, Crystal Huddleston, of owing for the cost of a motorcycle after crashing it into a tree. Crystal is countersuing Taylor for medical bills.
Miss Child, you like motorcycles,
Correct.
and you've been riding them a long time.
Yes.
And you purchased a motorcycle from someone used, and you paid $3,500 for it.
Yes.
Who's Scott?
Right here, ma'am.
That would be him. You and Scott work on the motorcycles together.
Yes.
And you brought the motorcycle back to your place, and you did some work on the chain and a lube job and who knows what else. But then when you tested it out, Scott thought, according to you, it needed a little more work, and he was going to take it back to his house to do a little more work on it. So far, correct?
Correct.
So Scott took this motorcycle back to his house. Now, this young lady doesn't ride motorcycles, but she rides as a passenger on motorcycles. But she wanted to learn about it, and she, too, was a friend of Scott's.
Correct.
So she was at Scott's house while he was futzing around with this motorcycle, and she decided she wanted to ride it and wanted Scott to help her learn to ride a motorcycle. Is not an answer. Is that correct?
No.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
The morning of September 29th, Taylor had my riding equipment in her car, and she and I had an agreement that I was going to learn with Scott on the bike. The night previous, we had a group chat.
And at some point, you had to have asked her if you could ride the bike. You know, certain things are common sense, certain things aren't common sense. Don't think about your ultimate counterclaim here, because that's not going to be good for you anyway, in all probability. You understand that?
Yes.
Yes, we have to take responsibility for our own actions. But at some point, you asked her if you could ride her bike.
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, you knew the bike was at Scott's house.
Yes.
And when Scott gave you the bike to ride, you rode it alone.
Yes.
Had you ever ridden a bike alone before?
Yes.
How many times?
5.
Whose bike?
Ryan's bike
And Ryan is your?
boyfriend.
Okay. When Ryan let you ride his bike 5 times, were you good at it?
I would like to think so.
Well, then what did you want to ride her used bike for? And learn how to ride?
I wanted to get more practice before I bought my own bike.
Okay, so you wanted to get more practice. Why didn't you ask your boyfriend if you could ride his bike?
Ryan and I were in a fight that morning.
So you mean instantly you had a fight with him in the morning, and then you were going to pursue your dream of motorcycle riding that day. Am I understanding you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. So this is what happened. So you got on the bike and you wrecked it.
Yes.
And she's suing for the wrecked bike.
Correct.
And you're counterclaiming because you said, I didn't know that it didn't have a lube job, and I was terribly injured, which you were, hospitalized, right?
Yes.
Because that's what happens when you ride something with just the air around you. You weren't in an accident with another bike or a car. You wrapped the bike around a tree.
Yes.
And of course, that had to be somebody else's fault. Not the fault of the rider who was learning how to ride, but it had to be somebody else's fault who let you use the bike to learn how to ride.
No, I take full responsibility for crashing this bike.
You take full responsibility. So why don't you pay her for the bike instead of counter-suing her for $10,000?
The bike was unregistered, uninsured, and Taylor and I have an agreement, or had an agreement, that I would pay her in full by March 29th.
Pay her in full for what?
For the bike.
And
the boots that she gave me.
So you had an agreement with her after this incident. By the way, what was the date of the incident?
September 29th.
Okay, so you had an agreement after you destroyed the bike and after you recovered from your injuries, you had an agreement with her that you were going to pay her for the bike by March 29th.
Yes.
Why didn't you pay her?
I have been paying the medical bills off.
Okay, well, that's fair. So in anticipation of your not paying her back, she's suing you now, and you decided to counterclaim.
Yes.
Oh, that makes my life so much easier. Good. Did she agree to pay you back for the bike?
Yes.
She's telling you this in legalese, we call this an anticipatory breach. She's telling you now on March 19th that she's not going to pay you on March 29th. So 10 days from now, she's not going to pay you because she's been paying off the medical bills. That's why we're here.
Correct.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,500. Your counterclaim's dismissed. We're done here. Thank you very much.
This court is adjourned.
What happened is Taylor blatantly lied and said that I could ride her bike, and That's it. It's cut and clean. I crashed. I take responsibility for it, and that's it.
I didn't get full permission. It was discussed prior to the case, well, prior to the incident, that I would teach her, and they already had access to my bike.
I was on gravel. I lost control of the bike. I popped a wheelie, and then I popped another wheelie.
I received a call from Scott, my witness.
The clutch gave out, and I couldn't stop the bike, so I made a decision to not go into my car and go into a tree.
He said, hey, get here quick. Crystal's in an ambulance. She wrapped your bike around a tree.
Taylor and I are not friends.
We're not friends.
I don't like snakes. I'm sorry.
Rarely do we get one that easy. I mean, it was clear she rode the bike, she wrapped the trees, she damaged it.
She made an agreement to pay for it?
Made an agreement to pay for it, and although she didn't reach exactly, the 10 days from now in which she would have reached it, I think plaintiff was entitled to it. And you assume the risk when you do dangerous adult activities, such as riding a motorcycle, and just like you said, you can't shift the blame after the fact to anyone else out there. That's your own fault, and anything that comes to you deserves to come to you.
That's it. Well, you need all kinds of IQs. She posted nude pictures of you on the internet.
Nude pictures to my mom. It's been a whole year of this, of being harassed.
Your Honor, don't speak. A woman scorned will do nothing short of getting even.
This is Judy Justice. Previously on Judy Justice.
According to both of you, that you decide to do as a side hustle is breed little Frenchy bulldogs. You do not take $3,500 out if you can't pay your own rent to buy a dog.
He had sent me a derogatory text saying thanks for paying the rent, and he had me distraught, and I got out of there.
You had a disagreement about the rent in September of 2022.
It was more than the rent, ma'am.
Whatever you had a disagreement about, you say he assaulted you.
I've never been charged with assault on her or nothing.
And now, the conclusion. Amina Thornton claims her former client, Donnie Alford, stole her property and owes her dog registration papers. Donnie says Amina defamed him on social media.
Okay, you say he assaulted you. Tell me where you were when this took place.
The assault took place in the apartment.
So you were there in the apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the circumstances.
The studio equipment and everything was still there. He was getting evicted, and I wanted the belongings back. I wanted the things to come back to me because they belong to me, and that was the agreement. I have text messages. You stop paying everything. I have nothing. You hold the upper hand. When you leave, you won't have a problem bouncing back. You have your husband. I have
Can
nothing.
I see just one or two of the texts? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Absolutely.
I'm not no homeless bum. I make money. I'm one of the top entertainers in Atlanta. So therefore, I do make money. I have my own money. When I met her, I was passionate about music. I took her on. And
took her on for what?
Because I liked her aggression when it came to getting stuff done. So I asked her to manage me. I had a job at the time. I had a place to lay my head at the time. It was her decision for me to stop working. And I have in a text message where she said the agreement was for me to pay your rent, take care of necessities, and don't exceed over anything over, I think, like $8,000 a month. So I was working, doing shows, doing that, and the money that she would put in my account and I was that was from me, that's actually like me working for being an artist.
I thought you were working.
The agreement was for me to stop working so I could focus strictly on music.
Well, that's good. You told me you were one of the top artists.
Yes.
So what'd you need her money for?
Top entertainer. So I stopped dancing and I focused nothing on music, recording as an artist, singing. So therefore...
So you stopped doing what you made money, and that's what you
Yes.
said.
Yes.
You stopped to focus on just singing.
Yes, because I had the financial backing to do it.
Mr. Alford, why do you think she was doing that, sir?
She did it because it was lucrative. At first, it was business, business. Then I seen that she started taking interest in me. She never stayed at an apartment, none of that. So, yes, I overlooked the interest part, but we still had a plan. Let's get this music done. I'll get my money on the back end from the music, and that's how it was. That's exactly how it was for the long run. Then she started getting emotional. Whenever I go out, then the personal started coming in. I started backing up a little bit.
Where did you get all this money to buy the dogs?
It was from money I already had from dancing, my side money, and then money that she was giving me from working. I'm an artist. That's if I ask somebody to do something, I'm an artist, right?
I actually have the whole picture, Mr. Oakwood. I have her whole picture, which is, you know, sad, a little bit desperate. And I have your picture. I have the whole picture. She's getting her dogs back. Can I see the email, please, that you referenced, Ms. Thornton?
Yes.
Other than that, I'm ready to move on to his counterclaim. You're getting the registration papers for your 2 dogs. Do you have a police report?
Yep. I have my restraining order. I have an active restraining order.
Was there a hearing on the restraining order?
It's active.
Answer this question. Stop looking because you can't concentrate on my question. With regard to the assault allegation against the defendant, which took place in December of 2022, according to you, if there is an active restraining order, there had to have been either a consent by him for the restraining order or a trial.
Trial.
There was a trial.
Yes.
Did you testify at the trial?
I did.
Just a second, you're looking at papers again.
Yes, ma'am.
Did he testify at the trial?
She did.
Did the court, after the hearing, Mr. Alford, issue a restraining order?
Yes, they granted both. They told both of us to leave.
No. So what you're saying is you filed for a restraining order too?
Yes.
No.
You did?
Yes.
No.
And then
Okay.
when she...
Shh. Mr. Alford, pay attention. This was my bailiwick. This is my home territory. She files for a protective order. She's going to show me her application for a protective order. She's also going to show me the final order of protection.
Yes.
I want you to start looking for your application for your protective order and your final order of protection.
I have my
Here you
phone,
go.
please.
The phone? I don't want to see it in a phone. I want to see the order.
Oh, my God.
Amina Thornton has accused her former client, Donnie Alford, of refusing to return registration papers for her French bulldogs. Donnie is countersuing for the value of the dogs and online defamation.
This is 6-month protective order is what it says. What I don't have is a signed order by the judge.
Okay, I'll give that to you. Just 1 second, Your Honor.
May I please have, Mr. Alford, your application for a protective order, for your application where it says Donnie Alford against Amina Thornton and your final protective order.
No, so I didn't get a final protective order.
Well, she did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the judge told us both to
I
leave
don't
each other
care.
alone.
Don't tell me what the judge told you, sir. You're wasting my time. After the trial, the judge granted her a 6-month protective order.
Yes, both of us. Well, yes, her, yes.
Right.
Right.
Well, then I don't have to get into that. The judge already found that you assaulted her. Found the allegations or some of the allegations that were true.
Some.
I don't care. Some or all. She's suing you for an assault.
Okay.
The court found that there was sufficient assault, menacing, threatening, or harassing to issue her a final order of protection for 6 months. You have no police report, correct?
No, I did not file a police.
Okay. And the medical records on which this assault was based, a visit to the doctor, anything else?
It's just the emergency room and the follow-up.
I'd like to see it. For what date is that?
That's just the bill, Your Honor. I couldn't get I can go into My Healthy Vet. I had to go to the VA.
This is a statement date. This was just this month.
I know.
Yeah, you just got this bill for this case. Okay, throw this away. Okay, now we're going to get to his counterclaim. Put all your papers away. On your claim, the court's going to issue an order, and the order is that the 2 dogs, you'll give the names of the dogs to the clerk and all the other materials so that the AKC will issue the registration papers in your name for those 2 dogs. He has a counterclaim seeking the return of the 2 dogs, which he's not getting, 3 puppies, which he's not getting because the dogs aren't his, and defamation of character. Now, Mr. Alford, you make a claim here that if true, is very problematic for her. You say that after this whole thing sort of broke up, the managerial relationship as well as the, albeit brief, social relationship, she defamed you by publishing someplace the fact that you have AIDS, carry multiple STDs, and hit women. So the court that heard the protective order may or may not have found that one of the actions that you did was hit women, so I'm going to forget about that in this. But I want you to show me proof that she published facts that you either have AIDS or carry multiple STDs.
So here's this.
Now just look at it carefully and make sure what you're giving me supports your statement that she alleged either one of those two things.
Mm-hmm. It's this one right here. That's the main one.
Just a second. Is that the only one that you have?
No, I have a lot. But that's the main one where
Not main one. Not main one. I asked you for anything that you have where she published that you either had AIDS or multiple STDs.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Don't speak.
Okay.
That's the only one for the AIDS and STDs that
May I
had.
see them, please?
Yeah.
I don't understand this one, Sarah. You can sort of explain that to me. This is what I have. AKA, this is author Amina Thornton. I see something that's ascribed to her with her name on it. This doesn't say that you have either AIDS or STDs, sir. This says that you are a domestic violent abuser. She says that you forced her to have sex. Thief, womanizer, trash can trash. He is a deadbeat dad. Do you have 5 kids?
He has 8 with 7 women.
Okay. So just a second. Do you have 5?
I have 5.
Okay.
8.
Police are going to be at this show to pick you up. Jarvis Alpha. Well, this isn't it.
I also have an e-blast that
This
she
doesn't
sent
say
out
you have AIDS.
saying that I
What
was-
does that say?
This is somebody, I think, separate from the plaintiff that's messaging the defendant saying that this account that they screenshotted attributed to the plaintiff is replying under this third-party person's tweet saying that he has AIDS, a rapist.
That's hearsay.
Abuse.
Okay.
I also have it where she did an e-blast, was saying that I was dead, I have herpes, and she
May I
sent it.
see that?
Yes, that's the whole e-blast letter.
May I see it? So far, these don't establish your cause of action for defamation. Would you show this to the plaintiff, please?
And my mom got that. She sent.
Did you say, just a second, did you write that?
No, I did not.
Well, who does it say wrote it?
It doesn't say I wrote it.
What phone number does it say it comes
Oh, this is my husband's number. And I have the text message right here where my husband has said, this is not my wife's phone. This is my phone.
Ma'am, if you go on the affidavit or the protection order that you got stated from her, under there we have to list our numbers as contacts. You could verify that she has that number on that contact list.
And me and my husband live together.
Maybe. Okay. May I have it, please?
That's the text message that was sent to him in February.
Where's your husband?
Go find him.
Shh. Listen to me. Whoever wrote this, you or your husband, it's nasty. It's nasty, right? It doesn't say that the defendant has AIDS. You can't accuse somebody of that just to be spiteful. You don't in this, but it's just a nasty, nasty email. And you say it was not authored by you.
It was not.
Could have been authored.
He has sent my husband text messages saying that he has had sex with me, made love with me, all kind of stuff.
Oh, you know what? Are you and your husband still together?
I am.
Can I say?
24 years.
24 years. All right. It was a mistake.
It was a very big one.
Big
a
mistake.
very big one.
It was a very big mistake, Ms.
Yes,
Thornton.
the biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah, very big mistake. Who are you living with now, Mr. Alford?
I stay with my girlfriend.
Is that your
No.
girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay. And what are you doing?
I breed dogs.
You breed dogs?
Frenchies, yes.
How many dogs do you have?
We have 3, but we currently have 2 French bulldogs and about to get another one.
I just feel sorry for all these dogs. It doesn't appear to me that it's really such a good hobby.
I'm not the person she's trying to make me out to, and I hope that you allow me to show you that.
Listen, Mr. Alford, I want you to clearly understand me. I'm not getting into extrinsic material, sir. She says you have 8 children. You say you had 5. If you have 5 children, and what you're saying is you spent thousands of dollars on dogs in the same time period where someone else is paying your rent so
She
that
was
you
only
can
paying
develop
my
your
rent.
media career, how much money are you paying in child support, Mr. Alford?
I paid $25 for one child And I pay
$25 or what?
$25 a month for one
A
child.
month, just a second.
And then I pay $145 for another child. And that's only because...
A month?
Yes.
A month. Well, I have to tell you, sir, I have a 4-pound Shih Tzu, and I couldn't feed her for $25 a week.
Amina Thornton claims her former client, Donnie Alford, stole her property and owes her dog registration papers. Donnie says Amina defamed him on social media.
Go.
I'm an excellent father. I take care of my business. I do that. If I was a bum, she wouldn't have came to me and either gave me money to do what I had to do. I'm not that character. I'm not that guy. I take care of my responsibilities. I've been taking my responsibilities before I moved to Atlanta.
You can't.